Now the war is over. Its masters and ringleaders don't care what we did back then. Our crimes caught up with us. Bad blood or not, rivals march together to meet the Tithe. Welcome everybody to back to Nirvana Sector. For those who are returning, some of whom are returning after about 5 years. But let's start with introducing our characters. So I'm going to start from the top. Tell us, who you are, and then give us a little bit of info about your character. And actually, let me also switch to something a little more chill. Yes, you are prisoners, and something awful is about to happen. We'll get into that in a second. So, for starters, Captain Vrock. JR, tell us about Captain Vrock a little bit.
Well, I'm JR. Play Captain Vrock, about as close to an orc as a mutated person can get with the tusks, bottom tusks. He's a tinkerer and also a pilot.
Nice. Okay, let's see here. Next is Doc Ivaldi.
Yes, I'm Caleb, and I play Ivaldi Barrett, doctor, medic, old hand at this Outlaw game, still kicking after all this time. Ready to put things back where things go, and maybe shoot some things out of where they go. It's all a beautiful cycle of life.
Now, these are the original members of the crew of the Steel Legacy. And I just realized we didn't go over this, Jesse and Daniel, so I will kind of do this as we go here, that the Steel Legacy is a freebooter, free merchant ship, a medium transport of 200 tons. And it has been, for the past 5 years, playing both sides of a war between the core and the rim, the empire and the hegemony. It has been profiting off the war profiteers, playing both sides. And after they lost their captain 5.5 years ago now, a cyborg named Lag, they hired on a new crew member. And he, after the initial part of the war, he mustered out of Federation service and joined them as a pilot. Tell us about Echo Crushjaw.
Yo, I'm Alex. I'm playing Echo Crushjaw. He is a Rectloid. Fought in a war to get freedom for himself and his people, and he used that to immediately get the heck out of Dodge, and he's been enjoying his time wandering with the crew since.
All right, and let's see here. We have 2 new crew members. I think it makes sense, just kind of lines up, since you guys are both joining tonight as new players, and also being introduced to the lore as we go here. We have 2 new crew members that have been hired. One, the greatest shot in the rim, Cormac Holden. Tell us about Cormac Holden.
Well, my name's Jesse. I'll be playing Cormac Holden, the greatest sniper of the sector. I left the service not too long ago, and
Did we lose you? You still there? Uh-oh.
No.
Right at the start of his spiel. No.
And all of a sudden, let's see here. We will. Oh, Yeah, I see a connection thing there.
One call.
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear?
Yep, we can hear
Sorry
you.
about that. My internet had a bit of a hiccup there. It's coming back on. Just give me a second. If I'm still recording, I'm playing Cormac Olden, best sniper. Recently left the service, found himself in a bit of a pickle here, and now he's trying to find his way out.
All right. And then I think also it aligns diegetically, just to say friends with Cormac Holden is Mr. Clement Montgomery. Tell us about Clement Montgomery.
Well, you see, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Clement Montgomery. Quite frankly, the closest I imagine you'll find within this wacky universe to a true, honest to God, good old boy, just trying to provide for his family. He's got 8 sons, 1 wife that he loves dearly, and he does whatever he can to make sure he can get them credits.
Nice. Well, you were all members of the Free Trader, the Steel Legacy, and things have been going badly for you the past month. Apart from needing to pay your bills, one of your main competitors, another freebooter named Captain Wrong Calpin, stole your ship, or at least from his point of view, got it fair and square. So, you've been tracking Wrong Calpin, try to get the Steel Legacy back, and you've tracked him to the planet of Korvax. Korvax is an irradiated moon that's out at the middle of nowhere in a middle of nowhere solar system. And you did catch up to him, but unfortunately, you got scooped up, Ron Calpin's crew, and all of you, by the authorities on Korvax. And now, you've been herded together with the other undesirables in the local area for the annual Tithe. The Tithe is what's called an event that happens on every planet in the rim where the Hegemony, these massive black battle cruisers, land and take a portion of the population every year. And that's where you are right now. Let's see here. Korvax, this moon, it's always cast in a kind of twilight, even in the habitable areas of it. The debris from the nearby gas giant creates what looks like a brilliant display of falling stars that are cast in neon pink, constantly crisscrossing over the sky. You can see somewhere out from this solar system a vibrant nebula. And otherwise, its rotation is mostly what we'd call, I think, tidal locked. It does not rotate very much in this portion of the rotation. You cannot see anything except the glow, like a horizon, like a sunrise of what would be the light from the gas giant. For those that can sense this sort of thing or just know it, you can tell that you're taking on radiation. And stinging your eyes as you walk is green tinged and rust red particles from the sands. You trudge 1 foot in front of the other. You're with a crowd of people, and ahead of you is this massive black battle cruiser, which has landed from orbit to ground. An impressive thing in its own right. And it's opened up one of its landing bays, and inside is a swirling mist of humidity and people being marched into its maw. You're toward the front of the line. You can see back behind you, a ways back, it's Ron Calpin and his crew. Actually, let me go ahead and introduce Ron Calpin here real quick, because you can see him. Ron Calpin, he looks at you all, especially Vrock, and he smiles. Kind of a look like, at least you're going first, you son of a bitch. and you're not tied up or chained or anything like that. And some people are talking. Some people are trying to make light of the situation. Most people completely silent. And there are guards all around you that are up on a broken wall. And you've been taken kind of out in the middle of nowhere on this planet for this. And but up on this broken wall from a broken structure, there are people with guns. There are dozens of them up on this wall that basically, if something breaks out, they can just like end the problem and provide a different tithe. These are local authorities from the planet. At that point, let's see here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that will work better. Vrock, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. A woman comes up to you, and she's not got all this finery right now, but she says, "Are you Vrock?" And she spits up a bunch of bile, like black bile, and spits it out. This is an Alf woman. She's not doing well.
That really depends. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, she seems to know your name.
Okay. Well, normally I'd say that depends on who's asking, but you look like you could use some of my assistance. What can I help you with?
You don't know it yet, Captain, but you're going to need my assistance. She spits up some more bile. She says, I heard that you all were a bunch of real murderous bastards.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of my crew when they're not my crew, but when we are a crew, we try to avoid that if possible.
Echo like clears his throat and is like, well, if it's during wartime, we call it heroics.
You know, I have to admit he is also right.
Even furthermore, as long as you're giving me credits, am I right?
I'm not saying we won't dispatch if necessary. I'm just saying we prefer not to have to.
If you need a crew for a job and the location is anywhere else, we'll do whatever you need.
Well, I think I got a way out of this mess and back to your ship. And I know where your ship is.
Okay, now I'm all ears.
She points up into the ship as you get closer down to the ramp. This ramp is maybe, I don't know, 100 feet wide, 150 feet wide, and then it goes up into this ship. She points up into it. As you get closer, you can just see the tint of the pink and purple shades of the light cast by the gas giant, just going just into the interior of it. And there's a panel. It might be paneling, it might be a door, it might be a compartment. She points to that outline where it's separate from the interior of the ship. She says, "You see that paneling right there?"
I do.
She shows her wrist to you, but like this. And again, these people are talking. You're not chained up. You're not tied up or anything. They're just going to shoot you if you cause a problem. And she says, and on her wrist is a bracelet with colors. And she says, "I work for somebody. Right before they took me, I got my hands on this. There's something back there in that ship. If we can get to it, if you get me to it, we'll clear our names and make our way out of this mess. They won't even hunt us down."
Well, that sounds mighty fine, but I'm a tad bit confused. Are you saying my ship is on their ship?
It's back in town, but I can get us there.
So you're saying wipe our names from their system, then go get my ship?
I know how.
What do you think, crew? Sounds pretty good.
As long as it gets me my rebreather, I don't care.
Yeah, the Alfs are probably pretty miserable right now.
That and my rifle. I miss my rifle.
Cormac, me too, buddy. Trust me, me too. Lord knows I miss my wonderful shotgun.
Well, I understand that. My daddy's wrench is back on my ship. That's what I use for clubbing sometimes. So yeah, we all have personal needs on that ship.
We need a distraction. A big
Echo
distraction.
kind of takes a look around at the crowd around us. He's kind of nudges Brock and says, "Boss, you know, if we're wiping names from here, this could be a pretty good way to get some favors. You think anybody in this crowd looks like they'd be worth our time to come along with? They'd owe us a lot."
That's not a bad idea, I suppose.
Um,
Does anybody look like they would be worth our crew?
Echo, make a connect check.
Okay.
This is very difficult because you don't have much to work with. You have to get an 11.
I think then I'm going to use my feature to treat the skill check as a 12.
You can do that.
Yeah, I think I will do that. Yeah, I'm going to treat it as a 12. I'm going to check out everybody in the crowd, see if there's anybody here worthwhile.
You read the crowd, and what's easy for Echo, the mercenary pilot, is to see the look on someone and know another spacer. You are able to pick out from the crowd people that you know. So the way this works is everybody who has a lot of these skills, most people do not have the skills you have. That's very unusual. You usually get them because you were in the military, in the Federation military, and then you muster out. That's how it usually happens. In the case of Doc Evaldi and Vrock, they're a little different. They had been spacing for years before that happened. But anyways, you can see expertise written on their faces. And you can pick out 3 people to go with you that you know would have fought in the same units that you were adjacent to, and you can even pick them out by skill. That's how well you can read them. That is to say, if you want to pick out a lawyer and a I don't know what else, a hacker and another thing, you can pick out 3 type of like experts. Or you can get more muscle.
I'm thinking then that a hacker and 2 muscles sound like what we need right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Echo will just kind of give a nod to the others in his crew, and he'll turn away. And while everybody else is figuring stuff out, he'll try to get these other people on the same page as us.
Hey, can I request an addition onto that? If you could, while you're picking out people to join us to get their names wiped, see if there's anybody close to wrong that looks like they would be decent in a fight. I want to try to pick a fight between wrong and that other guy as our distraction.
Do you think that's what we should have the muscle that I picked to do that? That's a good idea.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm afraid the muscle that you pick out might not make it with us during our escape from the distraction.
I think I see what you're saying. So you're also using this to pick out people to create the distraction. I agree. I think that could help. However, this is this kind of game I'm talking about. We're gonna roll. You can actually no, you got a 12. I'm sorry. See, this is interesting. Yeah, you got a 12. You don't have to do that. Let's see here.
Well, see, my intention was to cause something of like a bar fight in this line, but make the start of it close to wrong so that he gets caught up in it.
I think that's a great idea. You saying you saying that the muscle that I get, we should have them do that rather than bringing them through the shaft where we're going?
I'm saying if your intention was to bring someone with us, then they're probably going to get caught up in the bar fight. So if you could find someone extra that you don't want to bring with us,
I understand.
Yeah,
I got it. So here's what happens. Echo, you pick out 3 people and you circulate among them. Again, you're not tied up or anything. People are talking, and you can tell when someone's trustworthy. This is something you're good at. And you pick out 3 people who you can tell that they're both trustworthy, that you could depend on them. They're and you confirm, yeah, you are from the same crew, Ron, the same cruiser fleet group that you served in.
Throw up the unit gang signs.
Yeah. So you were able to kind of pick that out, and based on that connection, you find Nora Hunt, who is a Hob hacker, and you also find Abigail Allen, an orc who's good with sharp things, and you also find Gustav. Can't exactly be said what Gustav is, but he's very big and he looks like he could punch through a brick wall. But you think you could take a risk on trusting these people. You, just like you said, you passed this on to Vrock, tell him about it. Vrock, you said, hey, get me this distraction, right? Over by Ron Calpin. When you do that, you look back. Ron Calpin's gone.
that son of a bitch done slipped away.
And
is his henchman gone too, or is it just him?
His henchmen are gone too.
Uh-oh.
You know his henchmen. They're I'll go ahead and mention them because, you know, you would know these people. One is Charlie. Charlie is a psychopath. She likes killing a lot. She really likes killing. And she's not so much where Cormac is kind of like a surgical knife, like absolute precision and perfection. She just like is enough of a psychopath. Like Cormac will put something right between someone's eyes. She will all right, Charlie. Her name's Charlie. Charlie will blow up a nearby above ground storage tank and take out a city block and then laugh about it. And that's how she'll solve the problem. Like she's just insane. Okay. Also insane, but in a different way, is Spitwad. Spitwad is a hob. He is the ship's mechanic for Ron Calpin and kind of like the crew chief and loadmaster and handles jobs, connects with people and stuff like that. He is just a son of a bitch. He's just murderous. Okay. That's his crew. And yes, they're all gone. So you look around, they're gone. However, you do get people on your team to be able to cause a distraction. It's too late before you realize, whether you intended or not, that had to have been a lie. Because a distraction is caused. Let's see here. And all of a sudden, just pandemonium breaks out, and you have got seconds. And Jane just like looks at you and then like sprints toward this panel and just expects you to keep up or not.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if she hadn't have took off running, I was going to grab her up and take off running.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd follow immediately.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Let's see here. The wristband, it opens a panel. You go into darkness. Evaldi and Vrock, you have seen something like this only once before. You are one of the few living survivors who's ever seen the interior of a Hegemony ship that you know of. It is dark, and there are blinking green lights of panels in the dark. There is an oppressive and eye-burning red lighting. It is humid, almost as if you were in the stomach of a thing. And every once in a while, in the distance, you hear echoes of a skittering and a pattering, which you know cannot possibly be electronic or mechanical. And every once in a while, you hear what you think are screams, but it's an ambient kind of echoey quality.
Other than the appearance of the surrounding, would we remember anything from the other ship that we were on? Like, I'm pretty sure that the other one that we were on was not a Tithe collection ship.
That's right.
I assume the interior would appear somewhat similar, but like the skittering or the lighting, would any of that bring anything to memory for me or Ivaldi?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This does seem like the interior of the ship. There are two qualities to this. One is that the panels, the displays, they're at your height, Ivaldi's height. They're meant to be used by humanoids. But you see no humanoids anywhere. And that is similar to the ship you were on. Otherwise, no, there's no particular things that you can make out. This is a different ship. Now,
the paneling and stuff, is it written in a legible language, or is it like gibberish, or is there no labeling at all?
It is written in a language that you can mostly infer. Do not let me forget that, okay? Put a pin in that. Don't let me forget that. Let me describe where you are in terms of this room. And then there are panels on the walls. And remind me of that, okay? So you travel in the dark, by the way. All of you have a vague ability to kind of travel on like space stations and in darkness. Like you're all kind of accustomed to that. But you still need light to like make out details. So you travel through this paneling, and there's all these like wires and lines and hydraulic lines and stuff that they're hanging down and ripped open in places. And eventually she's like, this didn't quite work out the way I expected. we gotta try to go through the vent. We gotta try to find this place. We just gotta hope for the best. She climbs through a vent, and you go through a vent system, and you clatter out onto the other end. And immediately around you, there are storage containers, and there is another vent space. I should say there's no displays here yet, but remind me when displays show up. But that's what you see immediately around you. What do you all do?
Is it possible for me to try to go ahead and investigate these kind of these storage containers to see maybe if they contain anything that would help us, I guess, maybe defend ourselves or just equip ourselves just in case there's something here that is inherently dangerous?
Do you like start opening the storage containers?
I'd say like I'd start with one. I'm not gonna cheat myself and say I start opening all of them.
Okay. You have two large storage containers and then one that is smaller, that's kind of attached to the side wall. Which ones do you open first?
I'd go with the smaller one first.
All right. You open the smaller one, and luck have it, there's a torch here. That is to say, a flashlight. It has a A-type battery, a Type A battery. It will last for months. There is, let's see here. Hold on just a second. There is actually multiple flashlights. There are shortwave radios. There are two of them. They operate in ultra and very high frequency modes. These are like emergency radios.
Hmm.
That's what you find in the small box.
All right, wonderful. I'd grab all this stuff with my meaty hands, waddle right on over, boss. Boy, howdy, we got ourselves radios and flashlights. We ain't gonna be spawning around like a snake in the dark.
That'll work. We just got to be careful of where we shine that. We don't want to alert any unfriendlies.
True. That means I think we should probably start searching more of these them boxes. They might have something. If I found one who got these flashlights.
Does any of the storage things have like windows on them, or is it's all paneling?
These storage containers are closed, similar to what do you call them? Tough boxes.
Mm.
Except they're these two are circular or cylindrical.
I don't like that.
Echo kind of fields question to the group. Y'all ever seen circular containers like this? What do they hold in them?
Well, there could be a multitude of things.
Of course, it
Yeah,
could be.
like have you never transported like gas, oil, any
Please,
liquid?
That's what I'm thinking. You think there's think they're that standard? Nothing out of the ordinary.
Ivaldi, you can make a no check.
I'm welcome to know things. Let's.
Could I try to give him help because I imagine from my background as a worker, I experience many types of
I like that.
freight containers.
This will give like the net. This is what this isn't. So make a no check. And then now you only have to get a 6 to help him, but your no check is an 8 for Ivaldi. So start with Daniel.
All right, cool. This would be an intelligence, correct?
Yes, that's right. No intelligence.
Awesome. Let's go. Oh, sorry. That would be an 8
Unfortunately,
total.
we'll never know what he rolled.
Yeah, I
Can
can.
you guys not see the dice on the board?
No, it's interesting. Even the GM, I can't see it. What does
They
it
were
say?
just question marks.
Daniel, you should have said it was a 12.
It was an 8.
Yeah, and keep in
I
mind
can
about
re-roll. I don't mind.
you got
I
you
think if you
actually,
right click your message, you can reveal it if you right click your
Oh,
message.
thank God. Oh, thank Jesus.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay, so 8 that works, right? By the way, just a quick thing is what is a scene, right? And so that's I think pretty well left up to me. So that's a thing to think about, like because you've got those automatic 12s you can use, but you got to decide when you want to use them. Okay,
Yes,
so
warrior luck. Very nice.
all right, so you get an 8, and then so that's a +1 to get a 8 Doc Ivaldi on a no check.
All right, let's see if this works correctly. Hey,
Ooh, big ups, big ups.
I know things for a living.
So, Clement, you examine these things. Some people very, reasonably say, well, they must be like blivets or containers for petrol or chemicals or batteries or something, some kind of like hazmat or something. And you look at it and you're like, no, these are hermetic. They're sealed, and this is not, because you have handled alien work, like you've handled stuff that has carried hazmat and class 5 and fuel and oil all over the place, and hydrogen cells and stuff, and that's not what this is. So being able to narrow it down, Doc Ivaldi, you realize this is actually within your wheelhouse because it's sealed. You've never seen it used in this way because it's a iris container. That immediately tells you this is higher technology levels than you've ever seen. But it's an iris container that is hermetically sealed. You recognize that this would control controlled substances. That is to say, drugs.
So if we opened it,
And you think it's safe to open.
crack it open, lads. This is
You
the
crack it.
statistical probability that opening this makes our day worse is fairly low, and the statistical probability that the day goes much better if we open this is frankly quite high.
Well, a
All I
small
need to know
part
it
of
ain't
me,
gas and it ain't hydrogen, so we good.
a small part of me almost wants to suggest grab a few handfuls, and that's a little extra cash when we get out of here.
So Valdi just, and then it spirals open in an iris style. And one of them is empty, although you can tell that it could preserve controlled substances, but they've all been taken out. And
How large are these?
They're big. They're like 4 feet tall.
Okay, so you couldn't easily carry them.
No, they're quite heavy. In fact, but they would be very valuable if they could be moved, but it'd be very
Win
loud
some,
and
you
very
lose
difficult.
some.
But and then you open the second one, and it spirals open, and most of it's gone, but inside you can see 2 Lazarus patches.
Ah, these are useful if you only want to fly a little bit.
There's no there's nothing else of note in here except for the vent into the outside through the next vent. This is obviously a utility room, but 2 large containers were brought in here along with like emergency supplies, and then wherever they were supposed to be moved from there, they were never moved. But at this point, the Jane, she says, we got to keep moving. We don't know what's in here.
Okay, well, you seem to know your way around. Which direction should we go?
We got to go in deeper.
I'll scoop up the Lazarus patches. What do they do?
They keep someone alive. They're tech first aid kits.
Oh,
They're
excellent.
stim packs.
Stabilize people at 0 hit points, it seems.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I inferred from Lazarus.
Okay.
Stand
Do
here.
you stay in the dark or do you use the flashlights?
Does
We
it
ain't
sound
really
like?
heard anything.
I'd say we use the flashlights. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start tossing around them between everybody. How many of these flashlights do we got? Is it enough for everybody?
Yeah, you have enough for everybody.
I'll leave mine off just in case they see by light.
You open up the next vent, pull it open, and crawl on your belly through to the other side. And here is a room that does have one of these green panels. There's some other things in this room. Let me tell you what they are. There's a door here. This is a regular metal door with some sort of digital mechanism. Already you can tell this is tech level 4 by Stars Without Numbers tech levels, not Traveler. That is to say, at least very high tech. And then there is a suit here that would wrap around certain parts of someone's body. And then there is a maintenance table where parts of it are cracked open and laid out on the table. And then there's a bunch of broken and spare parts in the corner. And then there is a terminal. What do you all do?
Okay. As a tinkerer, would I know or be able to infer certain information like about the suit or the parts that are split open? My idea is to have the suit, have the guy that needs the breathing apparatus to put the suit on if it seems safe, so he can have that to live, and to see what I could use the parts on the table for.
I appreciate the concern, boss.
Okay, so the Alfs are suffering here. You can attempt a no check to see what the suit does, but you're confident that you could repair it. That would be a fixed check.
Okay, so I first want to know what the suit is intended for, and that will help to guide me in my tinkering mind as to if I need to.
You're
modify
certain you could
anything.
fix it, and that would just be a fixed check. You don't even have to know. But if
Okay.
you wanna know, that would be a no check.
Okay, I do want to know what it's actually for.
Go for it. Make 2 of them. Make 2
2,
checks.
6, that's 8.
No, 8 on the no check.
That's the roll, and my no is +0 plus intelligence is 2, so 10 total.
Yeah. So this isn't. So you've never seen technology like this, and I'm sorry. I'm probably going to say this a few times. Everything about this is in Stars Without Numbers what they would call like pre-tech. Like this stuff is way beyond like or just right before pre-tech, like tech level 5. This is a repair suit. It's a maintenance suit. It's specifically intended to provide a bunch of implements to add to repairs, and it gives +2 to fix, but it does have hazmat quality. So it will give a +4 save versus toxic and radiation checks. And it will also help one ALF be able to breathe and be not sick anymore.
Okay.
However,
so yeah, that was
you
my
have to fix
ultimate
it.
goal with it. I'm sorry?
You have to fix it though, and it is a fixed 10 to fix it.
Okay.
This will take time if you try to do this.
14 total.
Okay. Time passes.
While he's doing that, can I look at this screen and try to read?
Yeah, you can do that. So let me resolve that. The fix check, you easily fix it, of course. And if you use it, you can have a +2 to fix on top of the rest of your fix. If someone else uses it, one ALF can be freed of and it has a miniature Type A battery in it. So like this thing is like a fusion cell, right? Like this thing is going to run for months. So one ALF will be able to be fine, like if they put this thing on. Before we get to that, you can do 2 different things, just because I think I remember. Doc Evaldi, if you want to know the language, you can do a no check. If you want to actually operate the computer terminal, you have to tell me what your goal is.
Nah, I just want to know what the language is.
All right.
See if we can
make a no check.
Learn things in here. Let's that one day. I assume that's intelligence.
Yeah, this will be no intelligence.
Boop. All right. Well, yeah, that's Nate.
An 8. Okay. You recognize this language in texts. This is how do I put this? This is a Proto-Anglic. So the best comparison I would say is where we speak English, this would look like Latin. Meaning it's like a high culture ancient language. Or you might call it High Anglic.
Okay, but we don't speak it.
You are able to make parts of it out, but you are not fluent in it.
All right. Okay, I'm satisfied with my investigation.
This tells you that this is from a high-tech predecessor civilization, probably.
As far as the terminal goes, could we ask the old lady if that's the terminal that she is looking for?
She's looking around nervously, and she's like, no, we gotta... Also, I'm not an old lady. I'll have you know I'm 32 years old. 32 years young.
Really old.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty old. Damn it. Okay, well, listen, we gotta keep moving. We can't keep fiddling with things. We've been here for 10 minutes. They might find us. We gotta try to find the armory.
I want to grab a random spare part that I can use as a club in case we run into something unfriendly.
All right, you're able to do that. It will be a punch check if you attack. You use your punch skill.
Would anyone object too violently if I took this suit of armor? That's what I like to hear.
You're the one whose lugs ain't too good there, boss.
I was gonna say that's what my whole that's why I fixed it, was so somebody could use it to survive.
Yeah, the question would be: is it Cormac or Doc Evaldi?
Yeah, no, I'm asking: is Cormac Cormac gonna attempt to shiv me if I take it? Which I will attempt to do.
So you want that suit?
Oh no.
Well, I'm actually asking, you want that suit or not?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks for asking.
What a bastard. Okay. It connects.
I was just gonna let you know I ain't got my rifle, so I can't really stop you. But just so
Yeah.
you know, if I'm ever overwatching your ass, you better fucking hope my bullet doesn't miss.
I can fix you. You can't fix me. It's
That's a good
you
point.
put your oxygen mask on first, and then you help others. So
He's the doc. That's a good
don't
point.
worry, I'll hook you up. I
Um,
got the good stuff.
So, Dr. Valdi, you are partially encased, like with these white carapace bits. They're very light, and then they kind of have like this synth skin thing between them, and all of a sudden you have artificial air at 29.92 inches of mercury and a perfect pH level and regular, perfect balance of O2, nitrogen, and
Finally,
carbon
my
dioxide.
modesty is returned to me. This is the correct way to die.
You'll
I
also
would've
want to
got
note that you
something.
have +4 to save versus toxic and radiation checks.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I would have leaned over to Vrock. For a pretty confident doctor, you'd imagine he figured something out to make sure his lungs be good. At this point,
That was another thing. I know we're kind of trying to rush through here, but as far as the spare parts go and the stuff that's on the table, would I be able to jury rig something up for the other guy to be able to at least breathe comfortably?
You can take parts with you. They're very bulky. So I'll make a note, and like you'd be carrying a big leg. Now, these are high-tech things, so you could use them later probably and tinker with them.
Okay.
But no,
Well, I
there's-
did grab the one thing to use as a club, so if it survives this encounter, I may use it as spare parts later.
That's a good point, actually. You can note that down. It's not bulky. You got like a cyborg arm or something. You're using it as a club, and simultaneously it does D4 damage, but you also use punch. Yeah, that's something for now. Yeah, good point. Okay.
Well, at least one of us is armed.
Ha ha!
Pew 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 pew. All right.
She goes into the next chamber. This chamber here, there's a repair table here. You would recognize this rock, even though it is something of a fancy, far future power of some kind. This is obviously a tinkerer's table, a workshop bench, and there is also these canisters of it looks like runoff from a hydraulic fusion plant, like a fusion power plant. You're not sure. But also there's this crisscrossing thing in the room that's coming out of the wall. And it's basically at first it looks like tree roots, but as you look at it, it's like a pulsing vein. It's thick, fat and thick, like this thick and 6-7 feet long, coming and going across the floor like blood veins, and it's just pulsing.
Okay, does it look like it's going through the floor, or does it look like it's kind of part of the ship?
It looks like it has invaded through cracks in parts of the wall, and it has started to thread across the floor.
Is it moving at all? Or it's just kind of there.
It's pulsing like a vein.
I don't like when my vein breathes, boss.
Well, when you flex, your veins move. Looks like something's trying to take over the ship.
Oh my goodness, this thing. Oh, I get it. Oh. I'm having recording issues.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Okay, I thought I would be clever, but I see the problem now. Okay, what if I do this now? Oh, okay. All right, I got it now. All right. Sorry, the audience maybe did not get part of the recording there, but we're going to keep going.
Oops.
Oh, well. All right. I mean, they probably didn't get part of the virtual tabletop, but they got what we're doing. That's the important part. Okay, so yeah. Any ideas? I should also note that there is a door further ahead. Is there anything that you all want to do in this room? Time is passing.
I want to touch the vein thing with the robot arm that I have to see if it reacts at all.
It shivers and pulses as if you had poked someone in their vein.
Okay.
One would
If
have
y'all,
if we slapped that Lazarus patch on it.
are you going to try to bring it to life?
I think it would be a hilarious idea to go ahead and try to give this thing their drugs. What's a big scary monster going on meth?
We've already started with the cocaine bear. That did not take long.
Hey,
Echo.
go ahead.
Echo like suggests it very vacuously out loud, but also says we probably do ought to get moving. They're gonna come looking for us eventually. We didn't exactly do things very secretively.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, the more I think about this thing, the less I want to do that. So let's maybe get out of here.
I'll take
I
that
was
as a
gonna-
majority.
Yeah.
So here we go. Open the door, and on the other
Now
side,
this looks like home.
yeah, it. So you see a couple of things here. First of all, you see a massive. Is that right? Let me look at it.
Your home is a pile of trash?
Actually, no. Okay,
The universe is really a pile of trash.
That's deep. That's deep, bro. So you have a winding corridor here, and there's this this pile of like cabling, like thick cabling that is just like piled up here, and then yes, there is a bunch of trash here. Now, as you open the door and come out with the flashlights, all of a sudden there are a bunch of termite-like bugs that like lift up with their little proprioceptors, and they're pulsing fleshy sack-like bodies, and they like, it looks like they look at you, and then like 90% of them just skitter off into the dark, but like 2 or 3 are among the trash, and they just watch you. There is also here a door, a big heavy door, and then lastly there is a big gap in the floor where it's been ripped out, but you think you could get over that with some effort. And then there's also a door over here.
Okay, I want to ask the lady what she recommends, because
We got to get further into the ship. We got to find the armory.
okay,
Are there any signs or markings on these doors? Or are they just doors?
If there were, they've either been removed or they're covered with this trash or something. You don't see any signs from where you are. I'm sorry, that's not right.
How big are these termite things that are staring at us, though? They threatening, or are they small?
They're small. They're like this big. Of all the,
It's
you
like
read the
one from our
language
ship.
on the terminal. Actually, you can make out what this is. This is a maintenance control room. I should say this door is labeled.
Maintenance control.
I'd
like
let's
to-
go in there and see if like there's a terminal where you can disable any security protocols.
I was going to say, that sounds like there's going to be some kind of a destroy ship button. Let's peek in the door real quick first. I want to make sure that they're not having like a security meeting in there.
You go
Like,
and
door
you try to open it. It will not open, and there's no way to even interface with it. It just will not open at all. This thing is hard locked. You need, in order to open this, you need some kind of.
Do I remember the word for open in Space Latin?
Yes, and it doesn't work. You need some kind of code or password. This thing is like hard locked to some sort of access mechanism of some kind that you don't have.
All right, hacker, time to earn your keep.
That is to say, that will not work. There's no interface.
Gosh dang it.
Maybe there's a tool in the game. I can't remember the name of the item. I think it's like black box or something like that, or
You
black.
said it needed a code, so I was hoping there was a
So, like, if
Oh.
you had tools and time, and it's maybe, but you don't have any of that.
Yeah, all right. I'll check the other doors, see if I can recognize the words.
Okay, there is nothing on this door.
All right. What about the other one?
There's no other doors. Yeah, there's no other doors.
There are
However,
3 doors.
make a. Anyone can make a notice check. Actually, no. Let me pick on because Clement hasn't had a chance to do one. Make a notice check, Clement.
Gladly.
So no pressure. 'Cause it'll just be-
Good time to shine. Hey!
Man,
Oh,
Clement's time to shine, all right.
Yeah, you do notice there is literally just a door that's hidden back behind this cabling. It's just behind a pile.
Boss, I think we should go over there. That shit seems more funny.
Over there, meaning behind where the hidden door is.
Absolutely. Never got your hands dirty? Friggin', dig up a couple wires? Possibly
Are you
get a little
kidding me?
electrocuted? A little tingly? Pretty nice.
I'm a professional redneck tinkerer. Let's get it done.
Okay, you go. You think it's going to take you all one of two things. Someone can either attempt an exert check to try to like muscle this out of the way, or it's going to end up taking you at least 10 minutes to move the cabling and noise.
Do none of us have exert? I don't
think any of us
Not
have
a very
I have
exert, right?
work. I have work, but that's about it.
Ooh, how about those muscles?
I'll
two
take work.
meatheads we brought
Actually,
with
work
us.
makes sense to me. Work makes sense because it would be like, all right, how do you move this stuff around? That's totally
Wonderful.
yeah.
And I imagine
I
since we're lugging things around, I imagine that'd be strength.
My orcish muscles are for
You can use
show. I'm
strength.
more brains.
5
6.
plus 6. 6 is not enough. Now, you can move this stuff, but you think it's going to take 10 minutes, and it's going to be loud.
All right, fellas, this is what I can most likely tell you. This thing right here, normal regular job, take it about like 5 minutes. But if you really want to get her done good, about like 10 minutes. But it's gonna be real loud, so you got to be ready for friggin' anything. I swear.
Does the door have a
Would-
sign on it that we can see? Or is it just a door?
It's a door, and yeah, you can actually tell that it is also locked. However, it does have an interface, and someone could attempt to actually bypass the interface. It would be very difficult to do, though.
I would humbly suggest to my crew that we, a couple of us work on moving shit out the way so we can get to the door, and the rest of us stand guard to watch for anybody that may come toward us.
I
You're
think
the
that's
boss.
I think that's a great idea. I'll volunteer to be the guard team, and instead of actually being helpful, I want to go over to one of those roaches that's crawling around and kneel down and go, "Hey, we're looking for directions. Can you help us?"
Make a. Oh man, it's oh, I have to bring this up because that's too good.
It's not 5e. It's not animal handling.
It actually specifies. This is what I was talking about. There,
Hopefully, there's a desperation skill.
So I want to bring somebody on this. Echo actually has a ability to do this. So I want to put.
Well, that's right.
So I want two things to happen. Echo, you notice this. Evaldi, you will attempt a because there's something else happening here when you do that. This is the thing. Evaldi, you can attempt either a connect, a talk, or a lead test. But let's start with the no. Actually, Echo will automatically kind of know what they respond. Echo will understand their response because he is a wanderer.
Okay. I have nothing in any of those. So and then would that
You gotta
be
get an 8. 2d6
would that
plus
be with
intelligence or charisma.
gosh dang it, I'm doing the expert thing. I'm going to 12.
You got it. You used your scene.
I'm
your
talking
12.
to the bug.
You notice something very strange, Echo. They talk to each other. They sympathize with you, and you can tell that they assent to this. And you're certain that wherever they leave, they're going to try to help you. And for some reason, when Evaldi talked to them, these things automatically listened to Evaldi's commands. And with that, our adventure will pause there for the night. Outlaw Void is the continuing space western adventure setting by Mythic Mountains. You can find our Outlaw Void adventures in a playlist in the description. Stars Without Number is by Sine Nomine and Kevin Crawford. You can find a link to that also in the description. Sci-Fi Mythic Mountains logo is the property of Mythic Mountains RPG. Mythic Mountains Folk Tabletop Club is an international online clubhouse that focuses on folk tabletop games. Folk tabletop are the games that belong to all of us. They're not controlled by ideologues, internet personalities, or feeling unethical megacorporate brands. What actually happens at the table is the game. How the table plays is the right way to play. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you back in the void.